Welcome to Financial Focus, brought to you by Gulf Coast Financial Services founder and CEO, John Kuykendall. John and his team of financial, legal, and tax professionals have provided North Florida savers and investors sound, comprehensive financial guidance for over 25 years, helping you to achieve important life and planning goals. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more Financial Focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net.
And helping us stay financially focused, John Kuykendall and the team from Gulf Coast Financial Services. John Kuykendall is founder and CEO of Gulf Coast Financial, rated best of the best by the readers of the Lake City Reporter 7 years and running for financial services, providing perspective and guidance on what we need to be doing with our money, with our finances, with our retirement accounts in order to have that plan for confidence and progress, forward momentum moving through our financial life. That is what we are here for on the program each week, to provide the education and the guidance and perspective from a qualified, experienced advisor and a dose of common sense for what we're hearing out there. John, today's topic, current and ongoing financial concerns. Had a few of those recently.
Yeah, Peter, they're all out there. You know, we've been concerned all year, starting the first of the year with the Fed, and whether they're going to raise interest rates, how much they're going to raise interest rates. And of course, you know, they don't tell us. And so the market kind of guesses where it's going to be. And that's still a state of confusion. You know, inflation, we've talked about inflation, gas prices going up, inflation being over 5%. That's certainly, when you go to the grocery store, you certainly notice it. It's been that way, and it's going to continue to be that way. Still short on supplies. You know, I wanted to buy a new truck, and I decided not to because I don't think I can afford it. You know, they've gone sky high on these things, and everybody in our market is adding to the manufacturer's suggested retail because they don't have the inventory.
Yeah, well, the vehicle itself, 25 to 50% inflated price, and then with a vehicle like a truck, you go to the pump to fill it up, and gas has more than doubled since about a year and a half ago. So just in our commute daily, John, some financial challenges and headwinds.
Oh, yeah. And you're hearing it. Everybody's talking about gas prices and how it's affecting them. And, I think I'm going to have to get my motorcycle out and start riding it to work because I'm not sure I can afford to fill up that 36-gallon gas tank on the truck. So it's certainly different times. We've had it. It's been this way, and it's continued this way since COVID. Shutting down the country in 2020. We've proven, I think, it was one of the worst things that we could do because we have been behind the eight ball trying to catch up with every sense. And with all the stimulus and all the money that the Fed's given out, it's created a class of people that just don't want to work.
Yeah.
And so while we increase jobs, there's nobody to fill them.
Yeah, certainly some financial and economic impacts, significant impacts globally.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that continue to linger and in some cases even build. So we need to understand these current and ongoing challenges, but we also need to be proactively prepared is kind of the overarching theme, and the solution to these, John, is bumps in the road and the market and the economy and volatility. Those are to be expected. If you properly position and allocate, then you should have a plan with little impact or deviance. We don't want to detract or derail from that financial progress because of what's going on in the world around us. And oftentimes, if we are proactively prepared, there may be some advantage that we can identify and seize upon.
Well, you know, certainly energy has been one thing that we've been able to play off of because the energy market's up. So if you were watching and you were being proactive, you certainly should be able to get some energy investments and pick up some return. Also, you know, we've talked about in the past dollar cost averaging. If I'm dollar cost averaging in the market, I'm not concerned about where the market is. I'm more concerned about me making my contribution every month. I'm buying at lower prices. It's kind of like, you know, I bought Apple at 180, Apple's 160. I go in and buy. It's going to lower my cost overall. And if I think that's a good investment long term, I love my iPhone, so that's okay.
What you own. You use it every day.
No,
Maybe
I'm sitting here looking at my iPad right now, and I got to believe that Apple's going to be around for a while. And also, if our risk tolerance is such that we're okay with it, and we know where we are, we got that income plan, everything's set up for retirement, I can weather this storm because I know where I'm going. It's not like I'm flying blind without radar, and I'm just going through a storm, and hopefully I'm going to get somewhere I can land,
Well, again, we are talking about some of these current and ongoing challenges and mentioning the pandemic. That is a contributing cause for many to experience this next one. But John, studies show that it's not just the pandemic. In fact, this is a very frequent occurrence. Unexpected retirement. This is something where we have goals, we have hopes, we have dreams, we have well-laid intentions, and then the world laughs at us when we think we can plan things out. A lot of people, studies showing up to and as many as 60% of retired Americans did not retire of their own accord or on their own timeline, which really emphasizes the fact that we need to have this plan in place and be preparing all along the way.
Well, that's right, Peter. For some reason, Americans think they're bulletproof, and especially the younger ones. So I'm going to be able to work forever. I don't have to save now. I can save later. I'm going to buy all the things I need or want, not I need, and then I'll worry about my retirement later. But, when you meet, like I did a couple of weeks ago, with a 58-year-old individual who's not ready for retirement, but got early onset dementia, and he's not able to work, you realize that we're not as bulletproof as we thought we were. And we need to have that plan in place. It's not just, the fact that companies are downsizing, or I might lose my job that way and I can go find another job. We have to be ready for what happens if I have a medical condition that doesn't let me go back to work. I mean, there is certain relief from Social Security and other things, but we need to have that plan in place to know how I'm going to live, how I'm going to support my family, and how I'm going to support my retirement. Unfortunately, a lot of people put this off. We procrastinate, and we don't get that income plan. We don't get that in place so that we have a roadmap of how we're going. That income plan is going to cover long-term care. It's going to cover taxes, Social Security, Medicare, and it will look at what happens if we're working and we're disabled. Do we need disability insurance? All those things are covered in the plan.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are ready to retire, John, as in, I'm kind of sick of going to work. I'm so ready to retire. But unfortunately, because we don't plan proactively, very few of us are actually prepared for retirement. Big difference.
Yeah, a lot of us we say we don't like our jobs and we want to quit. But Peter, the thing I've learned is that when you have that plan in place, and the day I tell you, okay, you can retire, you tend to stay on the job longer.
Somehow magically we enjoy showing up a little bit more.
Yeah, it's almost like I have to beg them. Okay, you told me this is when you wanted to retire. Aren't you ready to go? And I've had a lot of customers, including myself. There's no reason for me to retire. I do everything I want to do. I can do, but my plan's in place. It has been, and everything is properly secured so that it's a joy to come to work. And I find that with a lot of clients who come in, they're miserable. They don't like work. They don't like their job, but we get them ready to retire. And I say, okay, you can go. And then they end up working for another 2 years.
Well, John, another reason why some continue to work is the fear of running out of money. And this is in survey after survey, study after study, rated as one of, if not the top concern for retirees. So in a world where we're talking current and ongoing concerns, this has to be part of the discussion. How do we address this concern of running out of money in retirement?
Well, I think we have to have a plan, Peter. And without the plan, like I said, we don't have a roadmap. I don't know how much money I can draw out. I don't know whether I can take that trip around the world. What can I do? How much can I spend? What's the consequences on my taxes, Medicare, Social Security? What is the overall consequence? Where am I going to be? And so without that plan, you're going to have a fear that I'm not going to have enough money. So I'm either going to spend too much in the beginning and run out of money, or I'm not going to spend and not enjoy my retirement, and I'm going to have money left over because I didn't plan right. I think everybody has to have that income plan in place to give us predictable, sustainable income through retirement. It is the number one factor among the people we talk to that they have a fear of having to go to their kids and ask for money because they're out, or having a fear of having to live with their kids. I got to tell you, the last thing we want to do is have to go live with our children. I mean, we raised them, we got rid of them. We don't want to go back to them, Unfortunately, they come back to us enough. But it's just a way of life, and we have to have that plan in place. Without a plan, you really don't know what's at risk.
That written retirement income plan, John, something that you've talked about as being so important, and something that you offer to help listeners to this program, viewers of the podcast, to put together there at Gulf Coast Financial Services. So absolutely no reason not to have it, but studies show that a high level of Americans are uncertain and in fact have concerns and worries about running out of money. And interestingly enough, almost a correlated number, a high level of Americans don't yet have that written retirement income plan. It seems like the two go hand in hand, and there would be some indication that somehow these two factors are related.
Well, it's just the fact that Americans procrastinate so long, thinking they're going to be able to work forever, thinking they don't think about retirement. Mm-hmm. That's why 40% of Americans are on Social Security, retire on Social Security alone. That's why the average 401k balance across the United States is $181,000. You got some that are larger, and you got a lot that are zero. And so the average worker 401k is $181,000. That's ridiculous. We should be maxing out our retirement accounts. We should be maxing out everything we can do for retirement so that we know that we've got enough money to live on. The thing about it is I'm old enough that I've been there. I had to sign up for Social Security. I had to sign up for Medicare. I've had to face the consequences of having too much money in a deferred account so that every year my RMDs throw me over and I pay more for my Medicare and Social Security. Without that plan, if I'd had that plan in place, I would have made a lot of different decisions. I would have filed for Social Security later. I wouldn't have taken it when I did. I would have done a lot of things different, but I didn't do them because I didn't know. Why people won't take advantage of our knowledge and our expertise, and the fact that I've already made the mistakes, let me help you not make them, because I can tell you what's going to happen. Healthcare, my gosh, everybody thinks when I get to Medicare, I don't have any premiums. I'm not going to have to pay anything. I mean, I want to tell you something. I pay as much right now for my wife and myself and on our Medicare supplements in our Part B as my son does for his family for health care.
Well, John, you're a really smart guy. I'll just say that. But smart people learn from their own mistakes. Geniuses learn from the mistakes of others. So sorry you've had to go through a couple of those mistakes there. But you're right. The clients there of Gulf Coast Financial Services, those listening to the program, viewing the podcast, they can have the benefit of not only your team's understanding of the financial world, but you've seen this through on your own and for many, many other circumstances, for individuals, for couples, for savers and investors, for workers, for business owners. You've helped them through this process and seen what's worked, what hasn't worked, and can help them formulate a plan to make sure that they are taking advantage of all that we have to offer in the technology, in the services, and the reports that we can run in the written retirement income plan, which often wasn't a factor 10 to 15 years ago. Now we are putting those things together. And as part of that written retirement income plan, John, another current and ongoing financial concern of overpaying in taxes, that's really addressed as part of that written retirement income plan as well, because you're looking for efficiencies. You're looking to optimize the income and minimize the taxes.
Well, that's right. What we're looking at is the ability to tell you what tax bracket you're in and then how different things will affect your tax bracket. We can analyze your tax report from last year and tell you how you need to make changes this year in order to save more taxes. Taxes ongoing are going to be more and more an expense for retirees and pre-retirees too, because taxes are going up. They have to go up, Peter. Somehow we have to pay for all this stuff that we gave away in 2020. And so our national debt is almost out of control. Taxes have to go up. Interest rate and taxes can't remain low forever. It just isn't going to work.
We are talking with John Kuykendall, founder, CEO at Gulf Coast Financial Services, about current and ongoing financial concerns. Of course, John, the market, always a source of concern, but particularly when we face headwinds, when we see volatility, people get a little bit more concerned with what's going on in the market day to day.
Well, Peter, we've been doing this now for 30 years, and I've seen just about everything you could possibly see. And the market always comes back. But the problem is, as we've talked in past shows, is if I'm emotionally invested in what I'm doing in the market, I'm going to make emotional decisions instead of smart decisions. There's way too much 24-hour news. There's way too much 24-hour fake news, as I call it, and people tend to listen to that stuff. You can't listen to your neighbor or listen to somebody else. The market, if it's down, it'll come back. The question is when. We have to have our buckets arranged in our retirement accounts and our money so that when the market's down, I can still continue to invest, continue to save. If I'm retired, I can continue to draw my money out and not affect my growth bucket that much. I don't want to be drawing out of my growth bucket if the market's down 20%. It's just not going to work. So we take all that into consideration in the income plan, and we look at all the things that you need to have, like emergency funds and that sort of thing. The thing about it was that when I got to those stages we're talking about, the income plan wasn't there. We weren't doing income planning. It's only been in the past maybe 5 years that we really came out with a good income plan and a good way to save for retirement. It's amazing what we've advanced in a short period of time in financial planning.
If you would like to get that financially focused plan put together, the written retirement income plan to address some of the current and ongoing financial concerns we face and to make sure that you are prepared for those concerns, that you've got a plan of action in place to help make sure you're making forward progress, pick up the phone, give a call, 386-755-9018, the number to reach Gulf Coast Financial Services, 386-755-9018. You can also visit online, gulfcoastfinancial.net, gulfcoastfinancial.net. John, not an extensive, exhaustive list. We haven't covered them all, and certainly we will face more concerns into our future, but if we've got the plan, we've probably got the ability to see through them and make sure that we have a level head as we encounter them.
Well, that's right, Peter. We know where we're going. We've got a roadmap. It will take into consideration the bumps in the market. And so as long as I've got that, I'm not going to be too concerned. I can tell you this, my phone hasn't rang that much during this downturn that we've been experiencing in the past. I haven't had clients calling, jumping off the building. A couple of times I wanted to jump, but they didn't jump. But, it's been a good experience. The more we do income planning, the less I have to deal with clients trying to get in and out of the market. We don't want to time the market. We want to be in the market. That's the main thing.
Well, again, if you would like to get that plan put together, if you have a plan and you would like the detailed forensic financial analysis, a look inside of what you own, the risks that you're taking, the fees that you're paying, the taxes that you may be liable for, and then a comparison to maybe what other alternatives are out there that could help you match your portfolio with your goals, your expectations, and your risk tolerance. Pick up the phone and give a call for that financially focused plan with the team from Gulf Coast Financial Services, 386-755-9018. That's 386-755-9018. John, we always appreciate the time, the guidance, and perspective that you provide here on the program.
Thank you, Peter. Great to be here.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities Inc. or Kovac Advisors Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions.